Hi everyone, I'm Jiun and welcome to my channel Librember, where I talk about different things but mainly books and readings. Today I come with wrap-up video of the month of May. It was not the best month for reading. I read a few books and I didn't read most of the books I was supposed to read, like Wuthering Height. I didn't even touch the book. This other science fiction book that I don't even remember the name. And also, I didn't finish reading Leviathan Wakes. I don't know why, but I don't feel that interested in reading it now. But I will read it someday. I'm not gonna promise that I will read it for this month, but hopefully I will. But I did read other books. I read a book by Agatha Christie, which is Murder on the Orient Express, which is, I think this is a very known book, but I think it's because the way it's written more than the story was okay, but not one of my favorites. I also read the fifth book in the Dune series. If you don't know, I'm trying to read the whole series of Dune, one book per month, and this month I finished reading Heretics of Dune. This how can I say, this is the book where I am starting to lose interest in reading more of this world, and one of the reasons is because Heretics of Dune happens in the future, like 1,500 years after the previous book, which is already like 1,000 years after the main story that you probably know. So Heretics of Dune is about they are still trying to control the planet, the spies. It's all about politics, and we still have the Bennett Gesserit, I think is the name. We have a new group of women, which are very similar, but they come from a far distance, like far from the universe. And there is another group that I cannot talk too much, because if not I will spoil a bit of the story. We don't have the main characters anymore. It's already like 2,500 years after Paul Atreides, and so we don't have them, but they are mentioned still. But there is one character that is still appearing. I cannot say so much, so I don't spoil. But and there is a new character, which is a girl who has the power to control the sandworms. So yeah, the story is more about that, and it's. But I don't feel connected with the characters anymore. The story is kind of repetitive. In this case, this new group of women, they have control by flirting and like kind of sexual control. So it was not that interesting. It's too much about that. But there are good things going on. There is action as always in these books, but I didn't feel connected with the characters. I don't know, the story is becoming a bit boring, and well, but as I said, this is my challenge to read all the series, so hopefully I can enjoy the last 3 books. So this month of June I will be reading Chapter House Dune, and I think it's the only book I will for sure read. I'm not gonna do any TBR or plan to read video so but Chapter House is one of the books that I have to read next or this month, because we're already in June. And I read a couple of other books, science fiction books. I read The Man in the Sky, in the High Castle, The Man in the High Castle, and by Philip K. Dick, I think. This story was interesting. It's about this idea, or like a dystopian world where Germany and Japan won the Second World War, so USA is divided into these 2 countries. So we're going to see different characters, but the main story was about antiques. I mean, For some reason, Japanese people are very interested in collecting all things from USA before the Second World War. I mean, in this dystopian war. So the story was just okay, but I didn't enjoy that much. And I read the female man. I don't remember the Juan. Let me check. Is the author of The Female Man is Joanna Russ, which is a book from the science fiction, the SF Masterwork collection, the same as The Man in the High Castle. This story was about actually it's about 4 characters. There are 4 different stories, and what I understood is that every story is from a different universe, but it's all about women. One of them, for instance, the man they don't exist anymore. In another universe, the women won a war against the man, things like that. But it's very it's like a very feminist book, which is okay, but the stories were kind of repetitive, and it's all about this idea of power of control and the differences between genders and sexuality, and so it's not at the end I didn't enjoy the stories that much. But the book that I really enjoyed was Have a Spacesuit, Will Travel by Robert A. Heinlein. And this is actually, the story is very simple. It's about this guy who I think won in a raffle or in a contest. He won a spacesuit, and for some reason he contacts a girl who is escaping from an alien, something like that. So the story is very interesting. It's like one of those movies that you could watch in the 90s, something like that. When I was reading the book, I felt that idea, that I was watching a movie from the 90s. So the story is very simple. I like the story in general. The ending was okay. And so this was one of the books that I enjoyed. And the other book that I read, I don't remember the name in English. I will put it in the video, from Arthur C. Clarke. It was very interesting and simple. Again, this is the story of a guy who has a trauma in space. I think he had an accident or something in space, and then he is moved to the Earth, and he started working in a kind of company that is going around the ocean and under the ocean. So he felt better working in there than in space. Of course, the story is much more complex than that, but that's the main plot, and actually was very interesting. And I enjoyed the story in general. The ending was okay too. So those were, I would say, the best books I read within the week. I mean, the month. So yeah. So for the month of June, I will be reading Chapter House Dune, which is the 6th book in the series. I don't have high expectation anymore. It's like I'm reading, but I'm not enjoying the story that much. There is a lot of things going on, action and intrigues, but I'm not interested that much as I started the challenge. And I think those are the book that for sure I will be reading. Well, I will try to read The Spans, to finish it. I mean, the first book in the Span series, which is Leviathan Wakes, and yeah, those are the main books that I want to read this month. Hopefully it will be better than the month of May. So that's it. I don't know, what about you? What are you reading? If you have plans for the month of June, at least one book, that book that you are expecting to read, you can share it with me in the comments. Yep, I hope to see you then in the next video. Thank you very much. Bye bye.